Okay, I'll try to answer since we have many questions and very little time. I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. First question, what do we do if we have to wear a uniform in school that doesn't distinguish ourselves from the non-believers? Well, I would say that the uniform should be worn in such a way that it does distinguish ourselves. You know, you can modify that uniform, and you have the right to modify that uniform as the right for religious expression, is preserved in the Constitution of England. So you need to struggle for that, make sure that you do have the right to make whatever modifications are necessary to distinguish Muslims from non-Muslims. And this also points towards the great necessity for what? For Islamic schools. Because why should our youths have to be put in this position? In an Islamic school, then they will be dressed in accordance with Islamic teachings. They will not have to be making these kind of distinctions. My job involves going out and seeing customers. Therefore, I see 4 or 5 different people a day. Is it still obligatory on me to give them da'wah since I spend a little time with them and I am there to do a job? No, this does not absolve us from da'wah. Alhamdulillah, Allah has put you in a very special position. You're able to see 4 or 5 different people every day. Then it becomes even more obligatory on you to carry the message to them. You have a little pamphlet and so on so with them after you talk to them about whatever else. You can just show them the pamphlet. There's a nice one which is called Understanding Islam and Muslims. Very colorful, very pretty and so on so. You offer it to them. Would you like to read this? If they say no, okay, fine. You carry on. It's not hard sell. You just offer it to them at the end of whatever you have to present. Okay, go ahead. We'll take one from the microphone, but we'll just try to because we have most of our things here.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Just really following on from what Sheikh Abu Amina said. We're just down there by where the books are. We have a small exhibition for those interested in maybe doing a dawah table in their particular area. If you are interested, as many brothers here are doing, inshallah, just come down. We supply the books free. We supply the table and the poster free. All of the literature, the Qurans is free. We just expect you to turn up, inshallah, once a week on a Saturday in your local areas. The Sheikh's made enough points with regard to the importance of dawah, so there's no excuse. You can't say you don't have books, you don't have support. The organisation was formed and we have, alhamdulillah, like Sheikh Abu Amin and brothers on the Shura. It's a very trustworthy organisation. So if you'd like to come down and give your names, you're more than welcome. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, okay. I guess our time is basically out, but they're saying one more question. What I would just say is that maybe, will we have some kind of session to... Okay, we'll try to save some of these questions and deal with them in the evening sessions, inshallah. Can we take Christians as friends and what are our guidance and limitations? Well, the issues of friends, we have to be friendly with them in the sense of giving da'wah. One cannot do so with, open hatred on our faces. If we have hatred in our hearts for them simply because they're Christians, we hate them, be sure it's going to show up on our faces, it's going to come out in the words that we have. We can't make da'wah feeling like that. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, hated hell for people. This is what he hated. But his approach in da'wah was one which was very soft, one very open, and that's how we have to follow it. What are your views on Muslims allowing Jehovah's Witnesses into their homes? Allowing them in the homes if you've got a solid program of da'wah to give them. But just to go and sit and listen to their message, of course, is foolishness. Instead of establishing small communities, wouldn't it be better to strive to establish an Islamic State? Well, the Islamic State is something which Muslims are obliged to establish on a world scale. But us sitting here in England to talk about establishing Islamic State when the Muslim countries have the problems that they have is ludicrous. We can know it. We should be informed about it. But to call to it in the sense that that's where our energy is placed, no, this is ludicrous. We should put our energy on what we can actually do. And that which we can actually do is we can create these communities. How do you explain to non-Muslims who is Allah? I have never heard of Allah. Well, I would say to them first and foremost that Allah is the Arabic name for God, right? Because they all heard about God. But then you go on to clarify to them that the Islamic concept of God is unique, that it isn't a God who had a son, or a God who had a father and a brother, etc., etc., but a unique God who is unique in his oneness and his attributes, etc., etc. Is it a nice way to make people aware by saying, don't do like Mr. A does, identifying names rather than saying doesn't so-and-so. Well, I guess this is in reference to Sheikh Ahmed Didat's presentation that I suggested to you. Well, this here, I'm not putting down Sheikh Ahmed Didat. If I'm saying something derogatory or something like this, then of course, definitely not. But Sheikh Ahmed Didat's literature is all around in the hands of everybody. And when we're speaking about this, we can't talk in general terms where a person may not grasp what in fact we're speaking about. What will the state of those people who make tawassul to Allah through the Prophet and believe that Allah is everywhere and pray to saints, etc., if they do this unknowingly thinking this is from Islam, will they be punished for their lack of knowledge? That is with Allah. Allah knows what opportunities they had to find the truth, what was their state, whether the knowledge was available or not available, etc. And Allah is the one to judge. On a general scale, yes, those people who die in that state of shirk, etc., Allah has said they're going to be in hell forever. But on an individual scale, we don't know what was going on in that individual. So you cannot say with regards to Muslims, that all of them are going to hell because they're involved in this. No, we can't. Especially when we have the hadith in